You're never gonna outlive that one.
It's not even original. It's just me regurgitating military BS.
It's all right. It had me going for days.
So Skype is telling me to avoid legal snags by telling people I'm recording them. So I'm recording you guys, just so you know. That's the first time I've ever seen that pop up. So one of you must live in a state where you need to consent.
It's probably California.
Not in New York.
So I know New Jersey's a one-party consent.
It's Canada, eh?
He's in New York.
So. He's in New York.
But your computer knows.
Yeah, so there you go.
All right, let's rock and roll. Well,
I'm sorry. I started thinking about the Canadian consent. It just goes, okay, eh?
It's in two languages, though. You got to be bilingual. So, okay, eh? We, eh?
Okay, I'm sorry.
USA.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll try and behave. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Just include all of that.
I think I will. All right. Well, hello, fellow addicts. Welcome back to Addicts Live, your internet escape from the craziness in the world. The Addicts Crew is back once again to bring you Simpsons news and Saturday smiles. You know how much Pat loves that line.
Smiling now.
I better do it, or I will send the mafia after you. I'm Alissa, your resident head addict, and we've got a full house for this one. As always, I'm joined by Super Safi.
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday.
And joining us this week, we've got two people who haven't been around for a little while. So first, the crankiest of us all, who we last saw at the beginning of the year, Patric.
Hey, I was going to say, one of us has been around more frequently than one of the others that we actually, Safi didn't even recognize. Hello, how you doing? I don't think we've met. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And some of you may not know, but everyone's favorite fuzzball, my favorite fuzzball, the one, the only, Wookster.
Hey, I'm waiting for the obligatory, like, who's that guy?
Wookiee is, as I am, an original addict. So, you know, he will always be here in spirit or in person. All right, we've got a fun show planned for you this week. But before we get into that, I am once again reminding you your obligatory reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, the giveaways are going to start. So don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win. Hit that red button. And as always, for those watching this on the site instead of directly on YouTube, I will put a link to the subscribe button in the show notes below. Now on with the show. So this week, we had plans to talk about Act 2 of Love and War and the latest episode of The Simpsons, Dairy Queen. However, Fox decided to have other plans, and due to delays with the Daytona 500, The Simpsons didn't air, at least here anyway. So I have no frame of reference to talk about. I don't think anyone else has a frame of reference to talk about when it comes to Dairy Queen. So instead, we're just going to talk about Love and War and share some inevitable laughs that always seem to happen when we all get together, whether they're on camera or off. So boys, let's jump into it. Love and War Act 2. After seeing the story play out in Act 1, Temperance came to life. What are your initial reactions on the Act 2 storyline? Saf?
Well, first of all, I'm just going to point out that the episode did air in Canada on City TV, and it was a good one. So, haha. But you guys can catch it next time.
Is it on Disney? Is it already on Disney Plus?
No, I don't think so.
No, they only have up to season 31.
Okay, so it's the same in Canada. We have up till last season, but it airs on City TV, so we can get it on City TV as well. City TV is like one of our big networks. So by big, I mean it's like about the size of a closet at CBS, so or Fox. Act 2, I mean, it continued with Act 1. Great dialogue again. Dialogue's the strongest point. For me, the prize track in Act 2 was not as strong as Act 1. You had an animated task. You had the mystery token. The decoration de orfanato was okay. And the RD hologram was okay. And you get the wonderful character, which is always nice when you can get that on the prize track. But when I compare it to Act 1, the prize track wasn't as exciting, but the dialogue was just as good and just as engaging. and even the premium dialogue was really fun as well. So I'm loving the dialogue, and haven't heard from the guys in a while, so really curious to hear what they think. Pat with the multiple Marges.
Yeah, Pat, by all means, jump in.
Well, about the episode, I watched it for 25 minutes waiting for the couch gag, and they kept turning left, so I never really understood what was going on. Anyway, no, about this act. Yeah, I'm actually with you, Safi. I think the prizes are weak. The concept of doubling up an animation as a prize. Woohoo! Let's peel something off we've already done, and then another one of the tokens, which again, those are only good for buying stuff I didn't want the first time. So yeah, it's not great. As far as the multiple Marges, man, I threw in the towel quite a while ago, and I haven't gotten the premium. What's the one? It's like an art
Ziff.
gallery.
Marge
Yeah.
Ziff?
Yeah, no, I can't go there. That's like, first of all, I'm just going to come out and say it. I hate Artie Ziff. I hate everything about him. I find him absolutely the most annoying character in the entire Simpsons pantheon. And the concept that they might be, even in an alternative universe, be together, can't do it. So no, Marge is going to remain unbought. She will show up for me to not buy her with a token in a year or something. I don't know. But the only premium one I bought was the very first one, and I can't even remember who it was. Who was the very first guy offered as a premium?
Esme.
There we go. I got that. Everything else I haven't touched. So, and don't even get me started on my libido. Oh dear Lord, my libido. Go ahead.
Look.
Look.
We got a whole lot of Marge. We got a whole lot of Marge. Oh, like I literally was like, oh my goodness, way too many Marges, and then realized I have so many Homers in my town that I needed to like shut up. Like it's time for Marge to get her turn. Like the only thing to counterbalance like the Homerishness of my TSTO is lots of Marges, but it bothers me as funny as the dialogue is in the Marge Ziff and then the temperance stuff. They conflict with each other. Like they were written by two different teams of writers that had no idea what the other team was writing. And after as smart as the dialogue has been for like months and months, it really sort of bothered me. I want this continuity in a town that has like young Homer and teenage Homer and fat Homer. And so I get the ridiculousness of it, but I'm just like, it's the same act, dude. Like WTF? Like why? Okay. But it's fine.
Well,
yeah,
they
why
did carry.
Why the face? Yeah, why the face? Exactly.
They did carry the Marge still mad at Homer over into Marge Ziff's quest line, where Homer's looking for a prize or a present from Marge because he screwed up Valentine's Day. So they did still kind of keep that continuity.
But then
in it.
Temperance like interacts with Artie, who's not married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No,
that's what I mean.
agree.
Like, yeah, I was just like, I get it's a lot of Marges to like juggle. Oh, juggling Marges. What a lucky Homer. But like, I don't know. It's just.
Well, no. See, it all makes sense because
I'm waiting.
I read this dialogue because I had to do the post for it. So I read the dialogue a few times.
Right.
In Act 2 dialogue, Temperance, because she meets Artie, who isn't married at that point, decides to do what Marge does and write her own story, and she creates Marge Ziff, thus bringing Marge Ziff into the game, into that universe, and that's where you get that branch out.
But no, because Marge Ziff comes from the actual show.
Well, I know,
like,
but I'm talking
okay.
about the storyline cleans it up a little bit.
You do realize that all of this makes the weird shower thing with Dynasty make sense. I mean, everybody complained about Dynasty where they had everything was a dream for a whole season. It's like, no, this is nothing. Dynasty's nothing compared to this. So that just proves how old I am, first of all.
Well,
remembers Dynasty.
It's all in a snow globe, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. God, yeah.
So I do agree, though, prize-wise, this is not a strong. I mean, the only prize on this prize track that's anywhere near decent to me is Cyrus Manley. Everyone else is kind of meh, take them or leave them. I think most of it's going to end up in my inventory. But I really enjoyed Marge Ziff, getting Marge Ziff in this. I don't know why. I like the alternative characters. I like the alt quest lines. And I actually really enjoyed the fact that Marge Ziff's quest line, she interacts with regular Homer. Like, it's not like a whole separate thing where they don't ever talk. I actually really enjoyed that. And the dialogue for Act 2, there were some really funny moments in there that just had me chuckling. Like, Temperance says, "I'm sorry to hear that. Where is your husband?" Marge says, "I kicked him out." And she goes, "Women can do that here? Tell me more about this wondrous world."
Right. No, I picked that line off for my filler that you've read yesterday that was today that was yesterday. What day is this again?
Let's see how many people you piss off this week, Pat.
No.
Saturday.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Saturday smiles.
Yeah, anyway. No, what's interesting to me is that, they got rid of Krustyland being an alternative space, right? If they really wanted to make this thing make sense, they need to bring back something that's an alternative space where you shove all of the alternative characters and they can live their little life in an alternate universe. That's fine. Then it won't bother me nearly as much.
I've created my own future world section of my TSTO where all my future characters live because that's where their tasks are. I just send them there and that's where they stay. I mean...
Yeah, you'd have to work really hard to keep them all in one place. It's one thing to have God and all of the religious characters wandering around, over by Moe's, and that's like, no, don't go near Moe's. But it's just, I don't know. I get it. We're way down the rabbit hole. 30 plus seasons. There's so much content here. We've been doing this for 8 years. Holy moly. So yeah, I get it. I mean, I get why they're kind of like running out of stuff to make sense, but
you know what's crazier, Pat?
What's that?
I've almost been playing this game. We've almost been playing this game for 9 years.
I know.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I don't think I know a single human being on the face of the earth that doesn't know about TSTO because I have to explain it at some point.
It's just crazy that it all started with that dadgum Jedediah Springfield statue. Like, I had to figure out how to get it into my town, and that leads to like this point. Where we're talking, like, literally.
Yeah.
One of my buddies was like, "Hey, I found this website that tells you how to get the statue." And then it just, here we are.
Snowballed from there. Let's just
friendships and frozen basements and baguettes and
my grandson
meatballs, Joe.
Meatballs. Yeah, meatballs and
my grandsons who weren't even 10 at the time who got me into it because we could play remotely. We could go and graffiti each other's towns. They thought that was totally cool. They stopped playing when they were 11. Here I am. Yeah.
That's funny. I had like another one of those weird where I talked to somebody that played TSTO and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, I know a really good website that can help if you ever have any questions." And they were like, "Oh yeah, I know about addicts." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And they were like, "Well, how do you know about it?" I was like, "Oh, I used to write for them." And they were like, "Wait." And I was like, "Oh God, here it comes."
Yeah.
I still have not had one of those moments. So if somebody sees me on the street, please, before I end this site, give me one of those moments because I've never had one.
No, the weirdest one for me was the one at Disneyland where we're standing in line and the random guy goes, "Okay, wait a minute." And I did have my cranky stuff on. That was part of it. And he goes, "Wait a minute. I know this is really weird, but are you like cranky old guy?" And I'm like, "Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Kinda,
Yeah.
Now turn around, please. We're getting ready to go on the ride." But
I just think it's funny. It's my friend's wife, and she's like, "Where have you been?" And I was like, "Well, we're friends. Like, I've been here, Callum." Like, "No, where have you been on the site?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I've been doing this stuff."
Life.
Yeah.
You should just say Alissa lets me off the hook a lot easier these days than she used to.
Yeah.
There you go.
Although I'm gonna finish grad school here in a couple months, so we'll see.
Good. So I'm gonna expect 6 posts a week from you.
Oh, geez.
To make up for all the ones you missed. I mean,
Wow.
And you
What
gotta
about-
talk as much, and you have to have 2 cameras set up. We'll have both. What do you think? What do you think, Joe? What do you think?
Just like 4 panels of me.
Yeah, we can have multiple Marges and multiple Homers. Why not multiple Wook and Joes?
Yeah.
I will say, since we're on this conversation of like how many years we've been doing this, I have been having thoughts lately about the 10-year anniversary of Addicts and what we're going to do, assuming we're all still here. So stay tuned. 2 more years and you guys will find out.
Hey, I just had all my medical stuff done. I'm going to be here at least another year.
Well, you got 2 more years, Pat. So
I'm not promising more beyond a year, but yeah.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about the 10-year anniversary this week too. Ironically, it just came into my mind, like, 10 years is under 2 years away, and I was just thinking about it. It's funny.
And I won't be 40 yet, so the site I haven't hit my own limitations on when I'm ending the site. So
Oh, good.
which is really
way to make me
sad.
feel
because
really
that
old.
means I won't be 40. That means I've been doing this site for so long. I've spent most of my 20s and all of my 30s doing it. So
And I won't be 70. God. Okay. No wonder my friends think I'm out of my frickin' mind.
so back on the rail a little bit here. There's some more funny dialogue that with Act 2 that I thought was pretty good, and I'd like to get your guys' take on that. So the whole Artie and Temperance thing. So Artie says to Marge, "How intriguing. She's basically you, except that she can never get older." Marge goes, "You know I never get older either. Come on, Temperance, let's
That
go
was
inside."
good. That was good. Yeah.
And then Homer shows up at the house while Marge is trying to fix the Artie quest line, and she goes, "Homer, what are you doing here?" "Marge, I'm here to win you back with chocolates. Not just any chocolates. These ones come in a heart-shaped box. Isn't that thoughtful? Yes, it makes me think of how you broke my heart. Plus, the box is half empty. Sorry, I got a little hungry on the way here. I never did get those nachos, remember?"
God, I know. He's such a brainless lout.
This whole thing just makes me feel so bad for poor Homer. He's an oaf, but he's a lovable oaf, and I just feel so bad for him. And then there's another one. Temperance goes, "Before you start judging me, you may want to turn around. Homer is climbing naked into your bedroom window using a rope made from his clothes." And then Homer says, "Good thing I wore underwear today. The elastic waistband made this clothes rope just long enough."
That was good. Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to open up the whole conversation about disrespecting women in certain posts, but no. Anybody that plays this game,
never a dull moment with you.
Yeah,
Pat.
anybody that plays this game knows for a fact that men are always the dumbasses in this game. And the series and everything about it. Women rule the world. I'm a father of 5 daughters. I've been married for almost 40 years. End of discussion. I know my place. It's as simple as that.
So, and then in the Marge Ziff storyline, there were some funny Homer Marge Ziff interactions that I thought were worthy of pointing out. One of them, Marge Ziff talks to Homer, and she says, "What are you doing here?" He says, "I don't know. I'm already in trouble enough as it is, holding a mixed martial arts tournament in the dining room. Plus, my Marge would kill me if she found out I was having lunch with another woman. Although she can't really get mad at me if I told her I was having lunch with her own self from an alternate timeline. Everyone knows that's not against the rules." That reminded me of Pat because of the alternate timeline.
Yes.
And then where it ends, and he says that he was at Spiffany's because he was buying Marge a Valentine's Day present, and Marge Ziff says, "But it was a while ago," and he says, "Yeah, but I forgot about it and bought tickets to a wrestling match. Then I left her at home to go with Lenny. When I got back, she threw me out. Hey, that gives me an idea. You two have the same brain, right? What do you think I should do? What do you think would make her take me back?" And Marge goes, "After hearing the way you treated her, me, I'm thoroughly convinced I made the right choice in marrying Artie all these years back. Goodbye, Homer." He goes, "So maybe a scarf?"
Well, the whole problem with this Marge Ziff is based on the robot he created, and I'm okay with that. Like, Artie's a scumbag. He stinks, but he I'm with Pat. I don't like Artie Ziff and creating a robot version of Marge is great. But when you go for like reality, that means like Marge was okay with him being all handsy, and then like she settled for the money. And I don't necessarily like what that says about Marge. Like literally Homer's oafishness, like Marge is so wonderful because of her capacity to forgive her oafish husband because of how much she loves him. You know what I mean? Like, and the true transcendent beauty of The Simpsons is like the greatness of Lisa, the greatness of Marge in the face of like these other men that aren't so great all the time.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just really woke after 2020, but I'm just like, I don't like Marge Ziff. Like, I don't know. She's gonna go on inside tests and stop making me mad after this event.
Well, that's why I didn't buy her. I mean, I saw some of the dialogue that was leaked, and I didn't buy her. And on top of that, I go so far as to say I don't even like it when Marge and Homer fight. It bothers me.
Marge could stand up for herself every once in a while, you know.
I like it when they get back together again. They have cuddles. I think that's cute. I think that's cute.
I like Homer trying to climb through the bedroom window with his underwear. I mean,
well, this is I'm 67. I've done that, so you know.
There's an image no one needs.
I'm just saying, there's not very much at this point in my life I haven't done. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I want them to ride off in the sunset on the motorcycle while the pieces of the dome crash all around them. You know.
I like their original story of them, you know, cuddling in the inside the. What is it at the putt golf course?
The windmill.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, that's great. I haven't done that yet.
I mean, there's so much going on. I think they missed a window with that whole heaven and hell thing to actually like address like the existential circumstances of our Springfields. Like, where am I? And then like I wish like, you know, God was like, well, your show got canceled and you're in hell. I mean heaven, you know, like just bring it. But they missed that, so we'll see.
I actually thought I admit that I rushed the game because I got torqued off on Sunday. And so when, well, I won't say anymore because some people haven't finished by at this point. But the dialogue.
It's Saturday. The Act 3 comes out tomorrow. So if you haven't finished Act 2, then you're really behind.
Yeah.
Well, the dialogue, I don't know how to. No, I'm not going there. I'll leave it alone. Sorry, I'm editing. See how
you like it or you don't like it?
No, I love the dialogue.
Okay.
I thought it was hilarious.
Pat, for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, has used the filter.
Witness it here live on Addicts.
You're watching history in the making. Your donation of 10 cents a day has finally paid off, and Pat has finally grown a filter.
Had you been able to hear inside my head, you'd hear. So yeah. Sorry.
Let's get into some reader comments before we go any further off the route, or Pat decides to unfilter himself. So as always, I posed the question to you guys, and I wanted to know your thoughts on Act 2 or any questions in general. Essence1919 says, I bought Marge Ziff because I love the building design, although I did not like it was a big building. EA could have made it a bit smaller. Just started the quest line today. My favorite from the dialogue is the so maybe a scarf line. Keith Rooney says, so many Marges. Think my game's stuck in an alternative reality black hole time jump thingy. P.S. Bart, Lisa, and Maggie must be very confused. CJ Brown LV says, Marge Ziff with the Ziff Bouvier mansion. I spent sprinkles. Mansion is so big, so make room for it. Character dialogue and visual tasks are funny. Yep, another Marge variant in our Springfield. And then we had some more. So Santos L. Helper says, I'm curious on what everyone's opinion is on the animated tasks for characters as prizes. I think they would be great prizes after finishing an Act's questline. Marge's reread her novel task could have been unlocked after completing Act 2, Part 5. But I'm not sure how they could be brought back in future updates. Would anyone spend donuts on an animated task? Would it be another, you bought this item, but you can't use this feature because you didn't participate in the original event thing for people to complain about to EA? For Act 2 itself, the best items are Marge Ziff and the Ziff Bouvier Mansion, since it's nice that Artie Ziff has a chance to be with Marge, even if she's from an alternate universe, and the Ziff Bouvier Mansion is a really nice looking building that would go well with other medium-sized mansions. I also like the Act 2 questline dialogue. The prize totals were great as well, since I didn't have the time to keep sending freemium characters to different locations. The prizes were okay in this act. I like the Artie Hollow present. It surprised me that there are 3 different poses from it instead of toggling it on and off. Marge's revealed her novel animated task. Seeing Cyrus and the raccoon appear from Marge's book did make me laugh. I'm a little annoyed. It's another 4-hour task for Marge. And Cyrus Manley, good visual tasks, but okay indoor tasks and a neat quest line. I was a bit disappointed by the Orphanato, since there was only one task there and the animation is not really noticeable. Marge Spider hitting the beam with a hammer instead of aligning it. I exchanged the mystery box token for donuts, since I don't have a mystery box. So do you guys want to talk about your opinion on the animated task, in particular Marge's reread her novel?
Did he say medium-sized mansions?
Yeah.
I literally opened up my game and have an opinion about whether there were large-sized mansions or...
Yeah.
I guess the mansion for the JG is pretty large.
I'm just gonna, to your point, I'm gonna go with saying what I said before, that the programmers are just being really, really elfish by making a task a prize. It should just be something that is part of the character automatically. It's stupid. Waste of time. Stop it.
What do you think, Saf?
I got cut out there for a bit, so missed Joe and Pat's comments. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of having an animated task as a prize. I mean, it's a task. That's something that comes with the character. So just give it to us. It feels like just like a cheap little a token as well. It's really what made the Act 2 prize track inferior to the Act 1 prize track.
See, I like the animated tasks. I think they're fun. They spice up a character who's been in the game forever. And I know it's a 4-hour task, whoop-de-doo. Most people send their characters on 4-hour tasks, but it's visual and it's a funny task. I mean, I always enjoy it. I'd rather have an animated task than crap I need to find a place for in my Springfield or throw into storage. My own opinion.
I'd like to make an aside here that since getting married, Safi and I seem to agree on a lot more at this point. So I don't know what's happening, Safi, but I would like you to thank your wife.
Old guys got married. Marriage has brought out the cranky side of my life.
Yes. Wow, I hope your wife's not watching.
Yeah, exactly. She's all.
It's like somebody just moved to Rochester. I don't know why your wife sounds like an old-time Hollywood guy, but
you can't say Rochester without saying.
Yeah. No, I mean it's an animated task. I'm trying to think if they've ever done that before. I know it's been part of a quest line where you got it at the end instead of just being one of the 5 prizes. But I mean, 12 donuts, billboard, animated task. It's TSTO. It is what it is. It's fine.
Crap is crap.
Yeah, I mean, was it back in the day, Pat? These are digital items. They have no explicit value or place in the universe.
This is true. True. No, the good news is they don't clutter up anything. I mean, it doesn't add to the clutter, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I guess that's one positive.
I mean, it is a funny task, and it could be so much worse. You know what I mean? Yeah, it could be another Marge, a Marge hologram.
Yeah, true.
Live in perpetuity next to the Artie hologram.
I think that the writer makes a point though. Would we ever spend donuts for an animated task? Well, we would, because donuts have no value at this point. But,
so I'm not going to break into song, but a long, long time ago, there was a task for Homer where he has a heart attack. Do you remember that task?
Yeah.
Where he goes, and then his soul leaves his body. It's a funny task.
Right.
I would pay donuts for that task.
I would too.
It's a funny task.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
That's hardcore. What that was one of the Halloween ones, wasn't it? I can't
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
where everybody
Yeah.
was dying and going away. Yeah, that was a great episode. Remember the days when they actually? Never mind. Start that.
When they tried, maybe,
Yeah.
just maybe, the good people at EA got frozen to a sidewalk.
It's very possible. It's very
I
possible.
mean, as long as Pat doesn't sick his minions on him, we'll be fine.
Stop throwing drinks in their face, Pat.
Poor Bob. Poor Bob.
Yeah.
It's no, I think that we have once again uncovered that there's just a segment of readers that need someone to despise. I'm so glad that I get to accept that mantle, because it seems like no matter what I write, somebody just goes not just upset, but ballistic and
What
would
is
like
it?
to have me pilloried.
What is it that Homer says? Better him than me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's fine. I don't mind being the
Direct
light.
all your animosity at Pat, please.
That's right.
You know.
I'm old.
Life's
I've
too
had a
short.
good long life. I'm fine.
All right. Greg says some funny elements to the event. I enjoyed the new characters. I just wish they would change the format. I'll give it a B so far. And we got a couple of questions. Well, actually, a comment. Starborn says, my comment is not about the event, but ever since I upgraded to an iPhone 12, the game does not take into account for the notch.
The what?
Notch. I'm not an iPhone person. I Android, so I don't know what the notch is.
I have an 8.
I have
Is
an
there-
iPhone 12 and I have no idea what they're talking about.
Is there a notch on the iPhone 12 on the screen?
It looks like that. Like
That notch at the top, I think, is what he's talking about.
but it's like twice as wide or something. Like I don't know.
You know,
I guess I don't care about the notch.
I would like to know if this young man has been vaccinated or not, and maybe it has something to do with the chip that is now coursing through his body and interacting with his G5 notch.
And now I have to edit this podcast. Thanks, Pat.
Why? I just want to know to notch or not to
Not to
notch.
notch.
That is the
Right.
question.
I've said it
I think I-
before on this show, and I will say it again. Chip me. I would like better internet service in my house. Thank you.
There you go. There you go.
I
And
mean,
now I'm hungry. I want notch. Oh,
SpaceX has like some nachos.
yeah. There we go. There we go.
Maybe that was the setup. You were supposed to be like, "What notch?" And he was like, "Nachos."
Yeah. There we go.
That's why Homer's still hungry.
Yeah. Oh no, poor Homer. He's just waiting for a notch.
So this is about the nachos. Is
Yes.
what we're saying. This is about
Yes,
the nachos.
It is.
About the nachos.
All right. Tracy asks the final question. My question is, how are our Canadian and New Jersey hosts doing? Weather reports suggest that you are a hardy group.
I mean, thank goodness we don't have any Texan like people on the website right now. Like, yeah,
Well, they wouldn't be here because they probably don't have power.
yeah.
I'm
You
fine.
can take my word on that one. I have
Yeah.
clients in Texas.
I mean, it snowed again today. I'm miserable with the snow, but other than that, I'm good.
Is it snowing in Rochester?
Yeah, I mean, I drove through snow squalls to get here, and it's supposed to be snowing tomorrow when I drive back up to Canada. So, yeah, it's just another winter.
So we've
the
had
same
devastating
places-
ice in Oregon, devastating as far as trees and destroying stuff, except in Eugene, where once again we prove we are in the banana belt. And if you look at a weather map, there's like snow, ice, and then there's a pocket right here. It's like 55 degrees. That's us. We don't know why. We don't know why. We don't understand it, but whatever.
I mean, I feel safe in Southern California, but then like I see what climate change did to like Texas and the South, and I'm like, I'm just gonna shut up before like
Well,
before Skyfinger realizes it missed me and like boop. Like,
yeah, except that you guys are on fire now 9 months out of the year.
One thing I will say, Facebook has really, I complain about the weather a lot on Facebook. So it's really shown me that there are a lot of patterns in weather Like this day in 2011, it was 70 degrees outside. However, this day in 2014, it was snowing and I was tired of all the crap snow, which meant it's probably snowed like 15 times in a row like it did this year. And a couple weeks ago in 2016, we got 2 feet of snow like we did this year. So I think it's just...
Well, you can thank Marky Z's algorithms for that one.
Yeah.
I'm constantly reminded about, buying orthopedic socks, and I don't remember ever looking them up, but I don't even own a pair. I think he knows that.
That's why he's trying to get you to buy them.
I know.
I mean, today my entire feed on the Book of Faces is all about perseverance, and I think that has something to do with Mars, but I'm still not sure.
Hey, did anybody ever? I was following it, and I know it landed really well, but I know there was 2 other countries that were supposed to be there at the same time, all rushing to land. Did they land?
UAE and China. I didn't hear anything.
Did they get there before us, or we had a news block out? So
well, the Chinese one probably fell apart. The Chinese one probably fell apart before it got there because it was made in China.
No. It's quarantined in Shenzhen, China right now with my kid's birthday present.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping to hear news. I just thought it'd be funny if they all landed in the same area and we just kept seeing cameras of each other looking at each other's robots.
I think the funniest thing about that is literally it landed and then I jumped on Twitter and it has its own Twitter account now, and I'm like, what? Perseverance is now live tweeting its experience on Mars.
That's right.
What a world.
Well, I was a little rattled by the fact that at least one news agency reported that they were looking for previous life forms. It's like they're pretty sure now that there used to be civilization that went away, and then our whole, the whole thing we're looking for is the next place to go and populate. It's like, I think it wouldn't be a good idea to go somewhere where life already died off. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, before we get more philosophical, anyone else have anything they'd like to add about TSTO or...
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting we're here for TSTO.
Just that I'm really sad I wasn't here for you guys' excellent conversation about Scientology and the Movementarians. Man, I was at... Yeah.
I've got to tell you, Joe, and I will link this video in one of these corners. I was watching, because we had a snow day here, I was watching some of our old Blogiversary videos. And in one of them, you said the one event that you want the most is a movementology, or the movementarian. Movementarian event where you got the leader, and I was like, it came true finally, 6 years later, but it came true.
I was so happy, I was like, man, this is for me. And there's baby Jesus and Old Testament God. I was like, man.
Dude, all I called it was Joe's event the entire time. This is Joe's event because I was
loving every moment of it, and the dialogue was so crisp. I was just like, thank you, 8-pound 6-ounce baby Jesus, who now lives in my Springfield. Thank you.
I mean, it's going to be really hard. I mean, the last year or so, that the dialogue, everything about that one, that's gonna be a tough one to beat. I think I loved it.
Yeah, they got a little compound now by all the farms in my town, and it
was great.
Speaking of, I was thinking. Well, I'll tell you offline. I had an idea of something we should do, but anyways.
Okay, so does anyone else have anything that they'd like to add? that means Joe's gonna write more posts, guys. That means Joe's coming back.
No. It has to do with podcasts.
I love it when Joe shows up though, because we have this. If we're doing a bar graph of how much TSTO content versus everything else that goes through our brains, it's this much versus this much. And you can guess how much is TSTO. That much. Yeah. I like it.
I'm sorry.
No, we haven't seen each other in a long time. I'm really glad.
Oh, it's always fun when it goes off the rails like this.
Yeah. I mean, congrats on the marriage, Safi. I'm glad you remembered me. And
and last time we haven't seen Wookiee. Wookiee's now married.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats to you too.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Mawwage is what brings us together today.
All right, we're gonna end this show before Joe gets everybody
Twue.
married that's watching this. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for going off the rails with us, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.